and bold. Through every way, we rise and shine. IUMFM, your voice, your time. IUMFM, the sound of unity. In every heart, a shared melody. Reaching minds with every beat. Voices strong, real worlds meet. IUMFM, your campus radio. Here we do where we should go.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم إنا نجعلك في نهور أعدائنا ونعوذ بك من شرورهم اللهم بدل شملهم وفرق جمعهم وشدد كلمتهم وزلزل أقدامهم وسلط عليهم كلبا من كلابك يا قهار يا جبار يا منتقم يا الله يا الله يا الله اللهم يا منزل الكتاب ويا مجري السحاب ويا هازم الأحزاب اهزمهم وانصرنا عليهم اهزمهم وانصرنا عليهم اهزمهم وانصرنا عليهم وصلى الله على سيدنا النبي أمي وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Hello, I'm Dr. Atrash. I'm the guest for this episode on PsychTalk. Don't forget to listen to PsychTalk every Friday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. only in IIUMFM, your campus radio.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and welcome back to PsychTalk with me, DJ Aleeya, your host for today's episode of PsychTalk. MashaAllah, PsychTalk for today's is the last episode of this season. Yeah. So basically, in this episode, we will getting more in deeper insights on the psychological topics. That I think today's topic is a very favorite among my friends, psychology students, and that's why we would like to introduce our guest for today's Sister Siti Ummul Hadhirah. Assalamualaikum, sister. How are you today?
Waalaikumsalam. Alhamdulillah, I'm doing good.
Thank you so much for joining us in our interview PsychTalk. And for your information for our listeners out there, Sister Ummul is the lead therapist from Minds Autism Academy, and today she will help us in diving into deep more on our topic for today's different, not less insights from an autism therapist. Yes, so basically, as an autism therapist, I am very curious on how they work in the therapy, and also how they inspire to become. So maybe, Sister Ummul, can you share to us how long have you been working as an autism therapist, and also what is inspire you to enter this field? Yeah.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So, thank you for inviting me. It's my pleasure, actually. My name is Ummul, first of all, and I've been working as an autism therapist, so basically ABA therapist, for several years now. My first ABA job was back in 2018, and I was drawn to this field because I've always been interested in communication, not just speech. So we're looking at how people express themselves and how are they being understood. And I think as I spent more time working with autistic children, I began to see that progress often happens when we stop asking them to change and actually start adjusting the environment around them. So that shift in perspective from fixing to understanding is what ultimately shaped my decision to remain in this field.
Alright, so basically, may we know that how you start macam mana from what education, how to become a therapist, from what part of education that we have to prepare, especially as a psychology students?
I know that most ABA centers, they accept psychology graduate or education, special needs background. But at the end of the day, actually, it's back to how, like, your personality, how you take challenges. Are you okay working with special needs children? How persistent are you? So, yes, we do look at the your background study, but ultimately, it's about you yourself as well. Yes.
Okay, so I think it's very interesting because maybe there's our listeners out there may macam curious and also want to having an interest to become a part of an autism therapist. So I think that's why in today's episode is a very, I think is nilah platform for you to learn more about it, and inshallah we will continue on our discussions after we listen to the song by Pencuri Sufi only at IMFM U Campus Radio.
Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Tengku Aisyah Tengku Azman, a lecturer from Department of Communication. Don't forget to always tune in to IMFM every Monday to Friday from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Only on IMFM, your campus radio.
Jangan tinggalkan auramu di sekelilingku, ia membuat aku termimpi. Mimpikan kita, jangan biarkan wangianmu. Mohon memahami, ia melekat di hidung yang memenuhi di setiap sudut mindaku. Kan ku curi hatimu, menyamun senyummu, kan ku colek cintamu. Oh, oh, macam ku larikan lirikmu, kau tak perasan aku sukamu. Dari dulu lagi kau simpan hatiku, dari darjah satu. Jangan senyum bila di depanku, fokusku tergendala. Kau memaksa aku menutup mata, tak sempat tutup telinga bila kau tertawa. Papaparam pam, papapapararam papapapararam, pararam papararam. Kan ku kembalinya padamu nanti, bila kita berjanji untuk sehidup semati. Yeah. Kan ku curi hatimu, menyamun senyummu, kan ku colek cintamu. Oh, oh, macam ku larikan lirikmu, kau tak perasan ku sukamu. Dari dulu lagi kau simpan hatiku, dari darjah satu. Dari darjah satu ku suka kamu.
Assalamualaikum. This is Professor Sor of the Mindanao State University. You are now listening at IIUM FM, your campus radio. Nakikinig kayo ngayon sa ating IIUM FM, your campus radio.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and welcome back to IMFM Your Campus Radio. So let's we continue on our last episodes of this season with our topic for today's different, not less, insight from an autism therapist. So that's why we have our guest for today's Sister Ummul. She is the lead therapist from Minds Autism Academy, and we will continue back on our discussions. Alright, so as a Sister Ummul is you are right now and lead therapist at the Autism Academy. So actually, what is your role as an autism therapist, especially in supporting the autistic individual well-being, learning, and also their developments? Yes.
Okay. So my role as a therapist or behavior therapist is actually to support them in developing skills that can help them navigate daily life, and particularly in communication, independence, emotional regulation. It could also be any skills that they need to learn at school. And a big part of my work is actually being sensitive to the individual's need at that moment. That means constantly observing, reflecting, and adjusting my approach based on how they are at the moment. Like, for example, some days they come like they're very happy. Like, just because they're very happy, that doesn't mean that learning is gonna be easy. No, maybe we need to let's tune it down a bit. Or it could be the other way around. So it's a lot of critical thinking and adjusting our approaches. And so sometimes the focus in learning the skill itself, or sometimes it is about regulating themselves and keeping them safe. So I see it as a balance between critical thinking and compassion. So because at the end of the day, therapy should support them and respect how they feel, not really like pressuring them. So giving them the space that they need as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So I see that the autism therapy is more in terms of the supports rather than adjusting them, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So I think this the conception or ataupun conceptions need to be being awareness lah for the community, especially for those who are may having autism children. So I think that's why I think this episode is very interesting lah, and also can give more awareness on that. Okay, so when people hear about the autism, there's a lot of thoughts, I don't know, saying lah about this and that, and there's some of true, there's some of false. So is there any biggest misconceptions that you often encounter, especially you working as an autism therapist? Yeah.
Okay, so I think one of the biggest misconception is the idea that autism automatically means limitation or inability. So in reality, we all have our own way of thinking. We all have our own way of communicating, coping with the world. Like you have your own way of studying. I have my own way of studying. But maybe the way we study is more well known, and we know how to find our own way. But for autistic individuals, students, they are not. They're a lot more different than that, and these differences are simply more amplified. So maybe let's say for some people the way that can help them study better is using visual, but for autistic children that is even more. That's like you have to use the right visual at the right time, things like that. That's what I meant by the differences are simply more amplified. And when environment and expectation do not take into that account, challenges become more visible. Like if you don't think about what they need, it's just going to be more difficult. And it's not because of the lack of ability, but because of the support does not match what they need, basically.
Okay, so I'm very intrigued with you mentioned before that they are different. They are same with us having a difference, but their difference is more amplified. So that's why we have to adjust lah their approaches, and also I think that's why being an autism therapist is not easy, right? Especially there are more difference, but even though there are difference, they are not. Actually, they are still same like us, having feelings, having thoughts, the same things. All right.
Yes.
Okay. So. Again, you as a autism therapist, I'm sure that there's a lot of experience you encounter, especially you dealing with autism individuals first hand. And also, is there any can you share to us is there any inspiring experience that really reflects on the idea that autistic individuals are different, but they are not less on that?
Okay. So one thing that often stays with me is how quickly they can learn once we find the right way to prompt them. So we use the word prompt or prompting a lot in ABA. So basically, how do we help them? And there were times when a child seemed very stuck. They're not moving on to the they're not progressing, and it could look like they were not ready to learn their skills, or it's almost like it's impossible to teach them the skills. But in a lot of cases, it was not really about the individual. It's about how we teach them. And because a lot of the time what we thought could help them actually didn't work for them. The kind of prompt that we use actually not helping them to learn. So a lot of time and time, the moment that I could find the right way to prompt, then they can learn very quickly. You'll be surprised. And I still, even after 8 years in this industry, every time I would feel wow, this is what you need actually. And yeah, these moments really remind me that the ability was always there. It's just that we need to find the right way to support them, find the right way to prompt them, basically.
Okay. And I think when they are adjusting the approaches according to the approach I think there's a long of journey for them, and also as a therapist. But I think that journey is at the end of the day is a very sweet, I think, when we reflect on that. And that's why it's I think inspiring to see that they are still interested to learn, to find their own approach, their own way. And I think as a normal person, I think I should learn from that, because yes, when we are having an ability to learn fastly, but I think there's some of us take it as a granted, right? So I think that's why I need to learn from them. Yes. Okay. So I think let's take a quick break. And let's listen to the song Sebuah Kayu by Brother Pian and Sharil, only at IMFM Your Campus Radio.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. اسمي ميسر الهمس.
اسمي نوزل فضل رمضان.
نحن طلاب الدراسات العليا من الجامعة الإسلامية العالمية ماليزيا.
لا تنسوا أن تستمعوا إلى
راديو صوت الجامعة IIUM FM.
Walaupun hidup 1000 tahun, kalau Apa gunanya walaupun hidup 1000 tahun kalau tak sembahyang? Apa gunanya? Kami bekerja sehari-hari untuk belanja rumah sendiri. Walaupun hidup 1000 tahun kalau tak sembahyang, apa gunanya? Walaupun hidup 1000 tahun kalau tak sembahyang, apa gunanya? Kami sembahyang, fardu sembahyang, sunat pun ada bukan sebarang, supaya Allah menjadi sayang. Kami bekerja hati lari yang supaya Allah menjadi sayang. Kami bekerja hati lari yang sepuhun kayu daunnya rimbun, lebat bunganya serta buahnya. Walaupun hidup 1000 tahun kalau tak sembahyang, apa gunanya? Walaupun hidup 1000 tahun kalau tak sembahyang, apa gunanya?
Hey guys, DJ Islan here. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook at IIUMFM, your campus radio. Hey guys, DJ Islan here. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at IIUMFM, your campus radio.
OMG, I already scrolled the TikTok for 3 hours. We've all been there. But too much screen time can leave you tired, distracted, and even stressed. Let's take regular breaks, look away from your screen, and connect with people around you. Balance is key. This message is brought to you by IIUM FM, your campus radio.
Hi, my name is Nada. I am from Palestine. Listen to IIUM FM, your campus radio.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and welcome back to IIUM FM, your campus radio. For your information lah, this episode is the last episode of this season. So stay with us until the end of our episodes for today's. And also, in our topic for today's, we will discuss more on, very interesting, especially among psychology students, which is about the topic different, not less insight from an autism therapist. Alright, so in the previous sessions, we already getting to know about sharing by Sister Ummul about her role as an autism therapist, and also her sharing about misconceptions and also her experience being an autism therapist. Alright, so basically, based on my knowing there's a lot of approaches used in therapy, especially for the autism children and also autism individuals. But I noticed that you are applying on applied behavior analysis on your therapy. So can you explain to our listeners out there what is actually the applied behavior analysis (ABA) approach, and also how it's helped an autistic individuals, especially in improving their skills and also navigating their daily life?
Okay. So, applied behavior analysis or ABA basically focus more on understanding the behavior itself in an everyday situation, and using that understanding to teach meaningful skills. And what does that mean in practice is we break down skills into smaller and manageable steps, using positive reinforcement, like reward, to support the learning. And I think a lot of people would be familiar with the book Atomic Habits. Because when I was reading the book, I was like, this is ABA, man. Because you have to. The book was telling you about that you have to break down the skills and reward yourself. So the goal is not really to change who they are, but to support skills that help them communicate. And how do we make sure that they are able to learn what they need. So that's and how do we do that is by breaking the skills into smaller and manageable steps, and we use positive reinforcements.
Okay, so I think it's very interesting and also a new knowledge for me lah on applied behavior analysis. And I understand that when the therapist is breaking down the behavior into the smaller, you guys apply for positive reinforcements, right? To
Yes.
I think improve support lah their skills and also navigating their daily life. Alright, so okay, so you as an autism therapist, how do you view the therapy as a form of empowerment of them on autistic individuals rather than normalize the autistic them?
Okay, so I see therapy in general. Doesn't matter what therapy. It could be therapy for mental health, therapy for autistic children. I see therapy as a way of helping them to cope, communicate better, or to function better, rather than changing who they are. And how in everyday life some people struggle to cope when they are angry or overwhelmed. So they probably would just shout, throw things, react in ways that's not helpful or very dangerous. But because not really, maybe a lot of the time we can't say that they actually wants to throw things and all that, but because they don't have the skills to manage their emotion. So over time, many of us learn more appropriate and helpful ways to cope before, in a way, therapy works similarly for autistic individual. It's about teaching them how to regulate, how to do things in more functional way. Like, for example, they might be stimming because everything is just too overwhelming. So instead of just letting them just shut themselves out from the world, maybe you can teach them to, empower them to communicate. Or actually, the TV is too loud, or I need some time alone. Things like that. We empower them to stand up for themselves. We empower them to communicate, so that instead of shutting themselves down, we can understand. We can accommodate to them as well. So basically, why it is empowering instead of making them, like, changing them, is because empowerment comes from giving them the tools, not forcing them to behave in a certain way.
Okay. So basically, as like you mentioned before, that therapy is a part of them to teach them on in terms of regulating skills, and also skills, and also their skill, especially in terms of the daily life. And also, I actually having an experience of have experience with autism children, that there's a part of them, some time of them, they do the steaming because they are being overloaded. But what I learned in the therapy sessions, therapy center, they do the they more focuses on OT lah, apa yang panggil sensory. So they do the jumping the tu kan, to like reduce their sensory overload. And I think it's very interesting because at the first hand I see that what happens to them, because they are for my experience, they steaming, they do the like there's some of them do like this, sini kipas. So macam what they are doing, right? So I learned that they are very sensory overload, and also especially lah when they having their friends around. So there's some of them, some of them they are feel overload and then do that. But I think is even though they are doing that, is actually they are not like doing the different thing. They just like expressing that they are being over, instead of they are not like different or maybe weird. There's no. So I think that's why I agree with you that in the therapy is a part of them lah untuk empower their skills and also their experience in learning, and also maybe there's a part of awareness of us to the community that the therapy is not to normalize ataupun to correct them in a certain way. Yes. Alright. So maybe you as an lead therapist in Minds Autism Therapy, so I'm sure that you're having your own routine in terms of leading the therapy sessions with your clients. So can you share to us that your typical therapy sessions or routines that you doing like every day, especially when you're working with the autistic individuals?
Okay, so first of all, I think that if we mention ABA therapy, people probably would think like, oh yeah, it's the token boards, it's the visual schedule and all that. But now we've moved towards compassionate ABA. Like everything is more naturalistic way of learning. So every therapy session is very different. Yes, we do have lesson plans, but we keep them flexible. And actually, what works in one session may not work in in another session. And I mentioned earlier about prompting, for example. Let's say two students, like similar profile, might have the same program, like similar program, but the way we prompt, the way we teach them could be completely different, just based on what they need, how they learn. And as a behavior therapist, critical thinking is very important because we need to constantly observing how the student is coping and adjusting to our approach. Like for example, we're trying to teach the students to write. We need to. It's not just about the product of the tracing, product of the writing. Are they holding the pencil nicely? Are they actually looking at the paper? Things like that. So. A big part of the therapy itself is also helping the students learn how to learn, and so that the skills can be carried beyond the sessions. And I would say that therapy is not about strictly following a plan, but about responding to the students' needs so that learning can happen in a supportive and meaningful way.
Okay, so basically your therapy session is not fixed lah. It depends on the ability, the skills. I think there maybe in your therapy, I'm not sure, but maybe you have your each of the individuals, you have the goal, right, in terms of the lesson plan. You have goals, right? So maybe there's those difference from each other. So I think that's answer my questions that yes, your therapy session is not typical and very interesting on that. Okay, so let's take a break and let's listen to the song Di Atas Nama Cinta by AIUM Nasyid Club. We will continue back insyaAllah. This is AIUM FM, your campus radio.
Minister of Higher Education of Malaysia, Yang Berhormat Senator Datuk Sri Diraja Dr. Zamri bin Abdul Kadir, reminding you to listen to
AIU FM, your campus radio.
Jika mata diuji manisnya senyuman, terpamit rasa menyubur harapan, dan seketika terlontar ke dunia hayalan hingga terlupa singkat perjalanan. Tersedar aku dari terlena dibuai lembut pelayan cinta. Rela aku pendamkan impian yang tersimpan, enggan dan ku keasyikan. Gusar keindahannya merampas rasa cinta pada dia yang lebih sempurna. Bukan mudah bernafas dalam jiwa hamba, dan ku coba menghindarkan pesona maya, hingga tak upaya ku hadapinya. Andai murkanya menghukum leka, nafikan yang fana. Moga dalam hitungan setiap pengorbanan agar di sulu jaya redhonya. Dia sendiri hingga hujung nyawa, asa tak sepi dari kasihnya. Kerana sesungguhnya hakikat cinta hanya dia yang esa. Biarlah cinta pada yang selayaknya,
Assalamualaikum. We are from Institute Pengajian Islam Pergas Singapore. Don't forget to tune in to IIUM FM, your campus radio.
Why do I feel hungry right now? I can just eat ramen, late night snacks, instant noodles, and skipping breakfast. Sounds familiar? As students, it's easy to forget healthy habits. But remember, your body and brain need fuel to perform at their best. Don't forget to eat balanced meals, drink enough water, and move a little every day. Stay healthy, stay strong, and stay focused. This health tip is brought to you by IIUM FM, your campus radio.
Hello, this is Afiq dan Nabil Anwar, the guest for the first episode of PsychTalk Season 3. Don't forget to listen to the PsychTalk every Friday 10 till 11 am, only in IIUM FM, your campus radio.
Assalamualaikum. I am Nazri Noran, CEO of Media Prima Audio and President of Commercial Radio Malaysia. Keep listening to IIUM FM, your campus radio.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and welcome back to the IIUM FM You Campus Radio. So with me, DJ Aleeya, and we will continue with our last episodes of this side talk for this season. By our topic for today is different, not less, insight from an autism therapist. So and also for your information, this is our last discussions on this episode. So stay with us until the end of our episodes. Okay, so we continue with Sister Ummul Hadhirah. You as an autism therapist, I think there's a lot of knowledges or experience you want to share to our listeners out there. So maybe for our listeners lah, you want to share a part of that. Is there any simple strategies that you want to share to everyone, especially dealing or dealing lah ataupun having friends ke children ke who are the autistic individuals. Yes.
Okay. So one of the common approach that we usually use in ABA is that we break down skills into smaller and manageable steps. And I think I could maybe share this not just to for parents or carers with autistic children, but also like for the students listening. If you think something is hard, like hard for you or hard for them, like the thing that you can do is try to break down the skills to smaller steps. Like for example, if cooking is very hard, then maybe let's start with simple steps first. Like maybe let's start with preparing the materials first, the ingredients first, then get someone else to help with the cooking. And then, or maybe like for what's common here is brushing teeth. So instead of teaching them or expecting them to just learn the whole sequence, we start with just like teaching them to hold the brush nicely, hold the brush in the right position, then slowly to the next step, like doing like this, but put the toothbrush in front of their teeth, things like that. Things that look easy for all of us, but actually it could be very difficult to autistic children. And again, if just like for general public or students, if you think the subject, the thing that you want to learn is difficult, and just be kind to yourself. Break it down to smaller steps, and and don't forget to reward yourself when you manage to achieve the smaller steps.
Okay, so I think this strategy is not is very like applicable to all of the types lah.
Yes,
even though I think I can apply it in the study sessions.
Yes.
As a part of students, and also for macam our listeners out there, right now most of our students, this is the last week of the semester, and we are kindly preparing for the final exams. So that's why I think it's very I think maybe there's some of our listeners out there who are students can apply on these strategies also.
Yes.
And also for those who are having friends or maybe having children with an autism, so you guys can apply lah on these strategies. Yes. By breaking down the skill into small steps and also reward yourself. Okay, so you as being an autism therapist, I know there's a lot of things lah you achieve, and also you experience throughout your career. So is there any perks of you experience lah, especially being an autism therapist? Yes.
Okay, so I think other than what you learn in therapy, what you do for the kids, you can actually apply to yourself, like breaking down the skills. Other than that, one of the biggest thing is, I've met like really good friends in this field. But I guess like this field really attracts some all the good people. And so yeah, I've been very fortunate to make some good relationships, and some of my friends are still we're still in touch from 2018, and like you really bonded with them. And because working as a behavior therapist, like working with special needs children is not easy, and I guess going through sort of hardship, going through hard days together, trying to make difficult days, difficult sessions more bearable, or getting support from your friends and all that. I think that really has strengthened our relationship, like between colleagues or ex-colleagues even. So yeah, I guess that's one thing that I'm really grateful of, and I wouldn't change it for anything else.
MashaAllah. Alright, so And I think yes, the when we are, I think dealing with the children with the autistic, I think for to those who macam want to work or deal with it, most of them are very passionate. There's a lot of, I think, wisdom behind of them. So that's why yes, I'm looking forward on that. Maybe inshallah I will become in therapy, and also having also same of you, having a good relationship with the colleagues, and also learn a lot from them. Alright, okay, so I think that's all from us punya discussions. So before we end in our discussions, maybe as a closure of our discussion for today's, can you do you have any message we would like to share with our listeners out there, especially students, secondary students, right now preparing for their finals? Yeah.
Okay, so I think first of all, my main message for the general public, I would like to share that autistic individuals are not broken, and they don't need us to fix them. And I really appreciate that there is so much more awareness now, families, educators, and we could see that the government are becoming more involved as well and eager to support autistic individuals, which is very positive steps. But with that growing awareness, it is important for us to be mindful of what kind of support we choose. There are many interventions, many therapies, like you mentioned this earlier, like many approaches out there. So making sure that the interventions are ethical, evidence-based, and backed by science really matters, so that you don't waste their time, you don't waste the money. And when awareness is paired with informed choices, we create better outcomes for everyone. And my message to students that's interested to become a behavior therapist, like, you can come and try becoming an intern first at Mouse Autism Academy and see how our day-to-day like. Yes.
Inshallah, I will be there. Okay, so thank you so much, Sister Ummul, for your sharing. And I think it's such a pleasure to have you, even though we are living right now through the online. So I hope that we will having more collaborations with you and also My Autism Academy. And for those for our listeners out there, thank you so much for listening to the PsychTalk. And again, this is the last episodes of PsychTalk in this season. So stay tuned on the next semester. Inshallah, we'll be there again with the new season, with the new fresh faces, and also with the new fresh and interesting topics. Alright, so again, I want to wish all of you guys, for the students, young students, wishing you all the best for the final exam, because right now I'm sure that there's a lot of you guys right now preparing for the finals, because next week is already the final week. So I wish you luck, and also I hope that what is we sharing here can apply to you, and also gain your awareness on about the autism. Okay, so that's all from me. Thank you so much, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Kami dari Ilmu Komunikasi Universitas Lambung Mangkurat, Indonesia, teruskan mendengar IIUM FM, Your Campus Radio.
Tidurkan anak-anakmu, kirimkan kata sayangku. Jalan Tuhanku diseru, hampiri surga yang dirindu. Bila terbit fajar lagi, usah terpiku di ratapi, serah ketentuan ini pada Tuhan yang lebih mengerti.